This is the Tennessee mail-in application for voter registration. Importantly, this form is to register to vote in the state of Tennessee. If you'd like to register to vote in another state where you're a resident, you'll need to fill out the federal voter registration form. Your faculty member has been provided a link to this form that they can provide you at the end of class. You can use this form to register to vote in Tennessee or to change your name and/or address if you were previously registered. Let's make sure that you're eligible to register to vote and to use this form. To register to vote, you must be a U.S. citizen, and to use this form, you must be a resident of Tennessee, and you must be at least 18 years old on or before the next election, and you must not have been convicted of a felony, or if you have, your voting rights must have been restored. If all of these items are true, you can use this form to register to vote. Importantly, if you register to vote using this form, you must vote in person the first time you vote after registering at your polling location. In order to fill out this form, please print with a blue or black ink pen and not a felt tip pen. There are several boxes on this form, and we're going to go through each of them to make sure that the form is completely filled out. Let's start over here with this box. This box asks if you would like to be sent additional information about being a poll worker on election day. This is a paid position. If you are interested, go ahead and check yes. If not, no. I'm going to go ahead and check no. Now we're going to go to the section below the dotted line. In box 1, there are 2 questions. The first, are you a citizen of the United States? If you are a citizen, check yes. If not, no. I'm going to check yes. The second question, will you be 18 years of age or older on or before Election Day? If this is true, check yes. If not, no. I'm going to check yes. Importantly, if you answered no in response to either of the above questions, do not complete this form. This gray box over here is for County Election Commission use only, so we're going to leave it blank. The next box, box 2, asks for your last name, first name, middle name, and any suffix. You should fill this information out using the name that's listed on your legal ID. For the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to use a generic last name Smith, first name Jane, middle name Doe. Be sure to print clearly for the Election Commission to enter in the information as accurately as possible. If your name contains a suffix such as Junior, you should include that information here. Box 3 asks sex, male for M, female F. I'm going to go ahead and select F for female. Box 4 asks for race. This is an optional box that I'm going to leave blank. Box 5 asks for the address where you live. Importantly, this has to be a physical address and cannot be a P.O. box. This address should be where you consider your home to be. If you consider where your parents live to be your home, then you should register at that address. If you consider your school address to be your home, then register to vote at your school address. The key point is that the address you use here is going to be the place where you'll need to vote on Election Day. I'm going to use the Baker Center's address instead of my own personal address for the purpose of this exercise. 1640 Cumberland Avenue. We'll pretend that there is an apartment, apartment 7, Knoxville, County Knox, Tennessee, 37996. In box 6, it asks the address where you get your mail if it's different than your address where you live. If you have an address where you get your mail that you'd like to include here, go ahead and enter that information in. If you don't have an address where you get your mail that's different than your home address, then leave this blank. I'm going to leave it blank. Box 7 asks for your email address. And again, this is an optional box. I'm going to leave it blank. Box 8 asks for your date of birth, city and state of birth, and social security number. Importantly, to complete this form, you will need to know your social security number. I'm going to use a generic date of birth, city and state of birth, and social security number for Jane Smith. 01/01/2000. We'll pretend Jane was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, and enter in zeros for her social security number. To be clear, this information should be your actual date of birth, your actual city and state of birth, as well as your accurate social security number. The next box, box 9, asks for your phone number. I'm going to use the Baker Center number instead of my personal number, but you should use your own number, 865-974-8681. Box 10 asks the name and address on last voter registration. If you were previously registered to vote, you can include that information here in order to update your voter registration. If not, you can leave this box blank. I'm going to leave it blank. Box 11 includes the voter declaration, which you should be sure to read. I'm going to read it here. It says, I, being duly sworn on oath or affirmation, declare that the above address is my legal residence and that I plan to remain at such residence for an undetermined period of time, and say that to the best of my knowledge and belief, all of the statements made by me are true. After reading the voter declaration, there are 2 additional questions to answer. 1, are you a resident of the state of Tennessee? If this is true, check yes. If not, no. I'm going to check yes. The second question, have you ever been convicted of a crime which is a felony in this state, by a court in this state, a court in another state, or a federal court? If this is true, check yes. If not, no. Importantly, if you check yes to this question and your voting rights have not been reinstated, you will not be eligible to vote. Box 12 contains a warning. Be sure to read this on your own, and I'm going to read it here. Warning. Giving false information to register to vote or attempting to register when not qualified is a felony punishable by not less than 2 years nor more than 12 years imprisonment and a fine of $5,000 or both. Be sure that all of the information that you've included here is accurate and that you are eligible to use this form in order to register to vote. If you are and everything is accurate, go ahead and sign. I'm going to say sign for our fictional person, Jane Smith. And date. If an applicant is unable to sign, you should provide the signature of the person who signed for the applicant, as well as their address. Next, we're going to be sure that we marked everything that was required in order for the form to be complete. We responded to whether or not we were interested in working on Election Day. We answered both questions in box 1, are you a citizen of the United States, and will you be 18 years of age or older on or before Election Day? We included our last name, first name, middle name, any suffix. We indicated our sex. We left race blank. We included the address where we live, which was not a P.O. box, including the street address, apartment number, city, county, state, and zip code. We included the address where we get our mail if it's different from our address where we live. We included our email if we decided to do so, the date of birth, city and state of birth, social security number, phone number, any information about last voter registration. We read the voting declaration. We answered question 1, are you a resident of the state of Tennessee? Yes. And question 2, about having been convicted of a crime that is a felony? No. We read the warning in box 12, we signed, and we dated. If you've completed all of those steps, then your registration form is ready to be sent to the Election Commission. If you'd like somebody to review your form, you can leave it open. If you're ready for it to be submitted, you can go ahead and remove the adhesive tape along the bottom and fold the form in half in order to protect the privacy of your information. Once your form is sealed, you can return it to your faculty member, who will place it in an envelope that will then be delivered by the Baker Center to the Election Commission. In approximately 10 days, you should receive a voter registration card in the mail. This is what that card will look like, and it will be attached to a larger sheet of paper, and you'll need to remove it along a dotted line in order to keep in a private place like your wallet. Included will be your name and address as you had listed it on your voter registration form, as well as your signature. Over here, it lists the county election commission that processed your registration, the date you were registered, as well as your own date of birth. It also includes your precinct, here 10N, voting location, here Fort Sanders School, as well as your city district, county district, school district, state house, state senate, and U.S. Congress district that represent you. On the back, there's a way to update your address if you move inside of the county in which you're registered. You should put your new address here, your mailing address, and your signature as shown on the reverse side, and submit this to the Election Commission. On this portion, it includes information about Tennessee's laws regarding purging voter registration, as well as information for the illiterate, physically disabled, or visually impaired voter. As Election Day approaches, you'll want to be sure that you review this information, particularly your voting location, since you will have to appear in person, so you can check to see that you know where you need to go. When you go to vote, you should bring your voter registration card as well as a state or federal ID that includes your picture. I hope this information was informative and that you all are excited and encouraged to vote on Election Day.